Hey, how's it going? This is the other cancer guy from Maui. I just wanted to make this short video. Before I even can continue, I can just give you guys, a little bit of my story. In 2017, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And at the time when I found the lump, it was 2000. I was doing my summer internship in Alaska, working for Princess Tours Wilderness Lodge, whatever. I forget how to say it. It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. But I worked up there that summer for like 4 months, and I was at the time a student at Maui Community College, and I was taking culinary arts. Now, obviously, they changed over time, and now it's the University of Hawaii, Maui chapter, and now they are called the Culinary Academy. So they've been step up the game. But anyway, so the message to my story is, I found that lump in 2000. I didn't tell her so. I was married to my second wife at the time, and even though our marriage ended like some 12 years later, I didn't tell her. I was too embarrassed to tell her. I didn't want to think about it. I just kept thinking to myself, Mike, men don't get breast cancer. Like, what the hell? In 2015, I finally we go get some really. I really need to find out because it started growing. Right, it started growing from like a Q-tip, right, to now it was the size of a dime, and it didn't look like a wart, alright? It didn't look like a wart. But anyway, finally we go find this doctor. We did a biopsy on it, and sure enough, it was cancer. Uh, I undergone surgery in 2017, and even then, after all that time, 17 years later, I still was in denial. But but it's the funny thing about it. When the doctor tells you we have some bad news, when you already know they're saying we have some bad news, that's the motherfucking bad news right there. They're not gonna tell you we have some bad news, but even though you're a dinosaur, you're gonna have a baby. Like, no, that's not happening for me. All right, that's not what it was about. And at the time, my wife was there with me. Even though we was divorced by then, she was there. And I told her before we walked in, like, we're not gonna act like we didn't know. We're gonna act like we knew. There's no tears gonna be dropping. We're gonna act like, okay, we knew. We knew that this might happen. And even though she was visually shaking, I know it. I know her, right? She held herself up good. So anyway, the moral of my story was, in 2023, I started to go through these changes of trying to change my life, and my blood pressure was out of control at the time. And a doctor that I had told me, I need you to lose weight. I was like 265 pounds at the time, and he started to tell me, I need you to drop down to at least 180 pounds. 180 pounds? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Right? But I thought to myself, okay, all right, he's challenging me to do it. And over that year, by the end of 2023, I was 200 pounds. All right. So I got from 265 to 200 pounds. Now, for me, that's victory, right? Hey, we're fucking warrior. Okay? So I knew that all I needed to do is lose 20 more pounds. Okay? So in 2023, the goal was to maintain my weight between 200 pounds and 180 pounds. I just wanted to keep my weight set all that year at around 200 pounds to 180. Currently, if I jump on the scale right now, I'm at 188 pounds. Perfect. Okay? I'm still off the goal where he wants me to get. But it's a process of me getting to that goal. It wasn't just overnight. I did it over time, right? So now, if I decide to gorge and eat a Big Mac, right? I'm not going to feel bad about it because I ate a Big Mac. And even eating a Big Mac for me at this time is challenging. All right? It's fun. It's fun. I'm not going to overeat. I'm good with eating a bagel with some fig spread on it. Awesome. My taste buds is a little affected through all the treatment and the medications that I took over the time. But again, what is the moral of my story? So when I did my surgery in 2024 of last year, and I went to Oahu, so I live on Maui. So I went to the next island. It's called the Gathering Place, right? Went over there and had my surgery done. And the day before I went to my surgery, my girl came over and she wanted to spend some time with me. But I was already under like high anxiety and I was in denial. My sister came with me as my support to be there with me. And the whole deal was when I did it, I told my sister, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to say anything to anybody. If nurses, doctors, whatever needs information about me, it's your job. Your job to speak to them on my behalf. I just want to stay downstairs and I just want to feel sorry for myself and cry my eyes out. Okay? But what I realized during that 10-day stay when we was there staying at Hope Lodge, and I gotta give a big shout out to Hope Lodge. Okay? American Cancer Society, that's another shout out right there in itself that we were able to stay at this place where it's absolutely heaven there. But in that time of me going through this process, I started to realize that there are a lot of families here that's going through different struggles and different challenges. I am on the tail end of my stuff because I just had to go and have my breast removed. I had to do some other stuff like radiation and stuff like that. But to get to where I was at that point, it was a huge accomplishment plus me losing weight. So it's a victory for the home team. Yeah, let's do this. But while I was there and I started to see everybody and I started to sit down and talk to them and listen to these struggles, I'll tell you one story. Okay? It's a sad story, but it's funny as heck. All right? So I come upstairs and there's a bunch of tables. So there's maybe like 8 tables, big place, right? Kitchen, table. They have a room where you can watch TV. Huge. It's like a mansion over there. So I come up there and I look on one of the tables that's furthest away. There's a gentleman there, an older gentleman. I forget what is his name. Doesn't matter. It's the story that's compelling. So I come up to him and you can just see him. He's just a little distraught. He's got things going on. And I'm like, good morning, young man. How are you doing? He's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm like, okay, nice to see you. That's pretty much my plug in anything I do, in any place I go. It's a welcoming way for me to be able to talk to you. And you're going to be submissive and open and say, hey, good morning, right? So I start talking to him, and I'm like, sure, I mean, you look healthy as heck. Why are you here? What did you do before? And he goes, well, I did 3 tours in Vietnam. I seen death. I was in the war zone. And my 3rd time I did my tours, I got caught in like a mine. And I had got hit from the shrapnel. And I immediately was discharged from the military because I was hurt. I couldn't be there anymore. So what they did was they flew him home, and they made him stay in San Diego at a hospital in San Diego, and he met this RN that came in the room and started taking care of him. And 3 days later, I'm not lying when I tell you the story. Okay, I don't lie when I tell the story. When 3 days later, they end up getting married. They end up getting married. And here they are, 50 years later, it could have been last year, right? But here we are, some years later, I'm sitting there talking to him at Hope Lodge, and he's telling me that his wife is undergoing surgery right now to remove both breasts because she has breast cancer. They don't know how long she has to live. And so when he starts to share this story, he starts to get emotionally distraught. You see him kind of breaking down. He's in tears. And I looked at him and I go, "Sir, can I tell you something?" And he kind of wipes his tears and he catches himself and he goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I goes, "When I'm going to say that, I just want you to know, okay, I don't mean no disrespect when I say this." And then he kind of just straightened up, right? And he goes, "Okay." So he goes, "Your wife is going to fucking die, sir. Okay? Let's just be real right now. Your wife is going to fucking die. And who the fuck cares, right? All it matters is you live the best quality life that you can in the remaining time that you guys have together and just love on this lady. Just love on this lady." And looked at me, he paused for a second, and he just started fucking laughing, like, ah, ah, he's just fucking laughing. And I looked at him, I goes, I'm sorry. And he goes, I appreciate you saying that to me. Appreciate you saying that to me. Thank you so much for saying that. And I was like, that comes for us all, sir. That comes for us all. So until that time, when the Grim Reaper comes knocking on your door, just live your life the best that you can. Because you love this amazing woman and you guys have a story to tell. And that's all that matters, sir. That's all that matters. God bless you and God bless your family, especially your wife. You take care of her. And I left. So what's the meaning to my whole story that I'm sharing about this person? What does it have to do with you? If you're going through your personal struggles every day, but you don't have anything going on with you, you're fine. You don't have any health issues. You don't have any cancer. There's nothing you got. What is holding you back from being able to live the life you want, right? Who is it? Who is to blame for holding you back? I know some good people out there. It's really good and successful people because they were hammers. They had something going on and they went out there and did it. My whole thing is just try to live your life by design because we all go through struggles and we all get knocked down. But it's your willingness to get back up. That's all that matters. And in my case, when I think about my life, and I think about my grandson, okay? I think about my grandson's future. If one day his grandpa's not going to be there, and he's going to ask his parents, "Mom, Dad, what was Grandpa like?" And they're going to be the one that's going to tell the story. Especially my daughter. "You know what? Your grandpa back then, when he was my dad, he was a piece of shit dad. You know, he was overprotective. He never let me go anywhere. He never let me go anywhere. But you know what? When he became a grandfather, I'm glad that he's my dad. Because he loves you guys just like me. He loves you unconditionally." So anyway, take care and God bless. This is the other cancer guy from Maui. Peace.